So I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier as well, related to trust, and trust being a big player in productivity. Can you explain that? Like what did you find in your research, and why are those two things linked? And then how do you go about sort of increasing trust if you do find out that perhaps trust is low at your company?
Yes, and I would encourage everyone to think about this, because our data tells us that this is an issue with 1 in 4 desk workers worldwide. So what we found is that we were really interested, okay, so productivity is really top of mind for executives right now. That is their number one concern, is how do we drive more productivity? So they're looking for every which way that can happen. And a lot of people are thinking about, is it number of days a week in the office? Is it this? Is it that? And so we were really surprised to see that actually the biggest driver is trust. And so when you think about that, if you feel trusted by your manager, the data tells us that you're going to be twice as productive, right? You feel like your manager has your back to do the best work of your career, right? And if you don't feel trusted, you're twice as likely to leave a company. Like, let that sink in. That is a huge delta there. And what we know is that transparency builds trust. So if you're an organization that is committed to building trust or rebuilding trust, what we know is that committing to building a culture of transparent communications is really important. And transparency is a two-way street. It's both employers sharing with their employees, like, this is what's top of mind, this is where the company is headed, this is what strategy looks like. It's sharing to the rest of the company, but it's also the other way around. It's inviting feedback. It's listening to employees. It's understanding, what are the challenges that you're facing? What is getting in the way of you doing the best work of your career? And then responding to that and listening to that. And I think when you build that type of a culture where you feel trusted to experiment, you feel trusted to find better ways of doing things, you're going to perform better. And so, when we think about building that culture of trust, really investing in transparency, and we also know that, tools and technology are one way to really help build that transparency.